Welcome, welcome. So, this is fun. So, do you ever have one of those siblings that never checks their phone, never picks up a phone call, never, replies to a text, that type of thing? Yeah, I got one of those. So, I got a call last night at like 11:30 saying, okay, the house on this road, there's an alarm going off, blah, 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 blah. So it's my brother's address. So I call, 11:30 at night I call. My brother answers the phone. I'm like, Mike, why am I getting this call, this kind of stuff? So he's like, oh, I don't know. I changed the sensor in the water tank, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, I don't know why they're not calling me. Why are they calling you? I said, I don't know, but, it would be cool if they didn't call me at 11:30 at night. So when I was on the live a little while ago, I got 3 calls from Brinks or whoever their service is, okay? So that's why I got off, because I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I checked the messages. One of them say, the authorities are being sent to the house. So, of course, I'm freaking out again. Call my brother. No answer on his cell phone. Goes to voicemail. Call my sister-in-law. They don't pick up. Left a voicemail. Called their home phone. No answer. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? So then I call the company up. And I'm like, why are you calling me? This is not my house. You're not calling the homeowner. You're calling the sister. So they're like, well, you're the person on the list. And, you need to, you're the one that we call. So I'm like, what the hell? So then I get a call from my brother, finally. And he's like, what's up? I'm like, are you kidding me? So basically what happens, this is a reason why you should always answer your phone. He didn't answer his phone. So I'm the one that's bombarded by calls because they're not answering their phone. And the best part is when I call the company, I'm like, I'm trying to figure out why you're calling me, why you're not, getting in touch with my brother. She's like, well, let me help you out. Can you give me his account information? And I'm like, no, I can't, because I don't know it. I am not, the person on the account. I'm his sister. So finally I got in touch with my brother. I don't know why I don't know why they're not calling me. Mike, they're calling you. You're just not picking your phone up. So that's what that was all about. Somebody just asked me, did I check my email? I am on there now. Okay. I'm going to read a email that I just got, okay? Hi, Scammy. I work for the State Department and confirmed with my colleagues that very little aid is going to Gaza. I agree with that because I've heard the reports. You may have seen recent news coverage of children starving and dying due to lack of food, water, and humanitarian supplies. Yes. This prompted POTUS to very recently to pressure Israel to allow expanded aid. The reality is that until Israel allows greater access, not much will change. Absolutely, I agree with that. Any aid raised isn't reaching the Gazans. Money raised online, except via established NGOs like the World Food Program, is not vetted and likely is not reaching those in need. You can email me at my work if you have any questions, and I can tell you that the email is legitimate and it's to thestate.gov. So again, as I was saying, in the live before it ended, And I've been reading stuff on it. Nobody in here, especially me, is saying that people are getting, the food, the diapers, the medicine, all that stuff that relief agencies are trying to get in there. Okay? I get that. Which again is why this whole GoFundMe thing that Snark is doing is suspect. Because how can all of these organizations, these big, huge organizations that are trying to help people in Gaza, their stuff isn't getting there, but somehow somebody in Pennsylvania knows the secret to getting money and stuff over there? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And again, it is very suspect. And again, I put, she could be Bonnie Jean, and that's what I said. That could be one of the things. She may think that, okay, so you're the one who sent it. Yes, Cindy. Yep. I actually just read it out to everybody. I didn't use your name, but I read it. There is a very good possibility she herself could be getting scammed, thinking that, the money that she started these GoFundMes for, or money that she's personally sending, that she's collecting, she could very well think that this money is going to the right people. Okay? Again, it's suspect. These people are, she's saying these two gentlemen are starving and this and that. I showed you the pictures of them, recent pictures. They don't look like they're personally starving or having any issues. Again, that's suspect. I'll read the email again, now that the person in here, kind of said she sent it. So the email that I got says, "Hi, Scammy. I work for the State Department and confirmed with my colleagues that very little aid is going to Gaza. You may have seen recent news coverage of children starving and dying due to lack of food, water, and other humanitarian supplies. This prompted POTUS to very recently to pressure Israel to allow expanding aid. The reality is that until Israel allows greater access, not much will change. Any aid raised isn't reaching the Gazans. Money raised online, except via established NGOs like the World Food Program, is not vetted and likely is not reaching those in need. You can email me at my work if you have any questions." And then she has her email, and it's at state.gov. So that's all I'm saying here. It is suspect. It is suspect. If the Bilal is the one who's GoFundMes I posted in the chit chat section on Discord, if those are all for the same person, that's suspect. And again, that's why I posted them in there. You guys can look them up too and tell me. Oh no, I would never do that, Cindy. No. No. I would never do that, Cindy. I just wanted people to know that it's a legit government email, Cindy, would you say that the organization that is named in here, the World Food Program, is that the one that our government is supporting in terms of sending money to an organization that is more able to get resources in there? I'm waiting for Cindy's comment. That's why I'm not talking. They're vetted, so when the conditions are right, yes, aid will get in. Okay. Listen, with any of these, there are a lot of scams going on with helping people in Gaza. If you look on YouTube, someone sent me a video of a typical story. This family saying that their baby is starving. We need help for food, but everybody else in the family looks fine. They're healthy. They're not starving. In fact, some of them look like they have, they've eaten, if you know what I mean. They're not thin. But they're using this baby's rare medical condition for saying they're starving. There's a lot of scams out there. That's what I'm pointing out with this. Snark can say what she wants. Listen, she is a freaking basket case. She can say what she wants. Again, just like, her and a group of other people, they throw a lot of allegations out just to try to get you mad. And there's no proof of it, which is why I was just saying, just let them say stupid stuff in here. I mean, you want to talk about looking stupid. A grown 53-year-old woman that keeps coming into a live when she's blocked to make stupid allegations. You're winning. You're winning, Snark. What about Sean? Sean has been AWOL. Sean has not been on for, it's got to be over a week now. And before that, it had been about a week. So, believe me, we're not upset about it. I'm glad he's off because you know what? Regardless of, him saying that they want me off social media, no, we just don't want him to beg anymore. So pretty much, we got what he wanted. We got what we wanted. He's not on begging anymore. So it's a win for me. It's a win for everybody else. So, if you guys want to look into the stuff I posted, again, I posted it on the Discord. If you go to any of Snark's pages, it's TikTok Snark. TikTok Street Snark is one of them. And I'll type them into Discord when I get off of here. Snark3, and it's spelled SNNNARK3. She's got a couple other backups. What's weird is she doesn't have the GoFundMe's posted on all of her accounts, which is strange. But on some of her accounts, there's direct links to the GoFundMe's. There is somebody, and I'll post this other person's username, that she also has been promoting these guys' GoFundMe's that Scammy Pammy has posted. I'll show you hers too because they have direct links to these two gentlemen's TikToks. Okay, so you can check them out. What I'll do today is this. We put a temporary hold on letting people into Discord when this whole FM thing was happening. And I want to talk to my mods on Discord to see if we should open up again. We were concerned with not having, having people come in that were going in there for ulterior motives. Okay. So, I'll talk to my Discord mods and see what they think. But, again, she could say this has to do with FM. It has nothing to do with FM. It has nothing to do. she was part of the whole FM thing. And, as I've said before, her calling out victims of his and victim shaming them after she believed them, that definitely put her under a microscope. Why did she change? Why did she do this? And, I looked for the video of her talking about Florida Man and saying he's a vile person. And then I was on the webpage and I saw the GoFundMes and all that. And that's what brought me over there. That's what brought me over to the GoFundMe pages that she set up. And that's when I saw on her PayPal that the PayPal is her name, but then the payee is somebody else. So then that was a red flag. So then I just started looking more into it and more into it. And then, as you know, I called her out and she said she was going to show proof. And now she's not showing proof. And now she comes in today and she's, her typical disrespectful self, which again, big red flag. Because, if somebody's doing something legitimate and has nothing to hide, you should be able to talk about it in an adult way. But she can't do that. You ask her a question, and instead of answering it, she asks a question to you, which is always what she does. If you see her in any lives when people ask her stuff, she never answers a question. So again, that's another red flag. So, she can say what she wants, and she can say that none of her followers have had any questions. If that's the case, then they need to be a little more careful with what they're doing. Because if they're blindly going to give money based on what somebody in Pennsylvania is saying about two gentlemen in Gaza that she only met on social media, and I just showed you pictures from their own TikTok. They don't look like they're starving. They don't look like they need medical help. They don't look like any of those things. They're clean. Their clothes are clean. They're well shaven. They're well dressed. There's a lot of red flags. So that's what I was pointing out. And again, as somebody said, why is she only putting it in a Discord when she can show it on TikTok? Why isn't she showing it there? Tracy, I was on earlier and I had to get off for an emergency. And I just got back on. I'm kind of wrapping things up. I'm talking about GoFundMes that are being created for people in Gaza when, again, it is a known fact that there are a lot of fake GoFundMes being set up. And when I questioned TikTok snark about it, rather than, being upfront about the PayPal and where it goes to and all that, she originally said she was going to show proof, and now she said she's not. So that's all I'm calling out here. That's it. So, but I just wanted to come back on because I cannot stand ending a live like that. Because, I just don't think it's a good practice to just end all of a sudden. So I wanted to get back on here, and I wanted to say that I posted that stuff. I'm going to post the the TikTok accounts that you should check out in the Discord also. And I will, again, touch base with my mods. See what they think about opening the Discord up again. And, we'll see, if you guys have time, take a look into it and tell me what you think. Post in the Discord in the regular chit chat. Do you think it's legit? Do you think it's not legit? And see what you can find, okay? See what you can find and tell me your honest opinion on what you think. Because, again, to me, it's just something's not right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you, mods, for blocking the childish behavior by probably Pammy. I'm not sure. Any news on the Mags trip? No. I'm assuming she's probably back in Pennsylvania, right? I mean, I haven't caught her the last couple days. Last time I saw, she was sitting at the airport eating a seafood boil, waiting for, waiting for her plane. She started harassing me via text. I sent them to you. When did you send them to me? When did you send them to me, Crafty? Because I already got a set of text messages where she was harassing somebody. Are you the same person? Okay. Yes, I did get those. Oh, so Maggie was the one who fell asleep on a live. Awesome. Yeah, I'll catch her tonight when she goes on. Like, usually when I'm ready to sit down and stream her, she's usually on at night, and she hasn't been on, like, at a good time, like around 10 o'clock or so when she used to be on. I notice she's going on much later now. Like, I get things where she's on at like 1:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's very weird. But, I have wanted to stream her, but she hasn't been on at a good time. Yeah, she does get exhausted from begging. Sean update? There's no update. Sean hasn't been on. And, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Misty, you can either send it to my email at scammyclaus@gmail.com, or you can send a DM. You can message me